Tonight, get some Italian delicacies, have a drink or two and spend happy hours with us Milan style. Reliable, durable and aesthetically pleasing, these gorgeous watches make perfect gifts for men and women. And we'll chat with Elaine Paige and learn about why she loves the entertainment industry so much. Welcome to Dolce Vita. We come over the same question again and again. With all the interesting places in the world, what should be our next holiday destination? For many people, Europe's a favourite, and Hong Kong people particularly like Milan. Other than high-end brands, it also has a delightful dining culture. Milan is famous for its nightlife, and the aperitivo is a big part of the Milan culture. Many clubs and restaurants offer snacks and pastas at around 6:30 p.m. for a price of a cocktail. Nowadays, in major cities around the world, the aperitivo scene is an evening meeting for people of all ages. With a nice atmosphere, music, good drinks and food, aperitivo becomes a good alternative to dinners. In this restaurant, guests are served with a complimentary canapé tray with their drinks. Snacks are made from the freshest ingredients of each season.
The snacks on this canapé tray goes perfectly well with our drinks.
And its presentation kind of echoes the environment too.
Ooh, we're having tortellini for dinner tonight, and I used to love having it in my homemade broth. I've never tried it with spinach, and it's got crab meat in it. Let me try. It's full of flavors, and it's really fresh. Very delicious.
Mine's really interesting too. The swordfish comes with 4 different sauces, so it's 4 different flavours in one tasting.
What's the green one?
It's made from fresh oysters. Let's give it a try. It's really light and refreshing. Besides the green oyster sauce, the swordfish is accompanied by 3 other delicious sauces made from squid ink, bell pepper and anchovy aioli. And if you like something more to fill you up, a single rack of lamb is a perfect amount for 2 people. It makes a great dish for intimate dinners. A must-have in an Italian meal is definitely the wine.
And I'm glad they serve wine by glass here. Sometimes you wouldn't know if it actually tastes good or not until you actually try it. And it's good for people like me who just can't finish a whole bottle.
Cheers.
Cheers.
One remarkable thing about this restaurant is the variety of wine they offer. There are as many as 10 kinds of both red and white wine on the list, allowing guests to try wines of different styles and sources at a time.
Dessert time is always what I look forward to because I know the chefs like to put a new spin to their desserts, and they're always surprises.
We'll take a look at this. Apricot pudding with ginger ice cream, a Western dessert with a bit of the Orient. Texture is as important as taste in a pudding. This apricot pudding is soft and very spongy. The ginger ice cream complements the pudding in the best possible way with its unique taste, a touch of unexpected spicy flavour, delicious. The pudding's really light and spongy, just how I like it.
Wow, this brownie is really rich in chocolate flavour.
As the cake is half-baked, the centre remains liquid when you cut through it. The chocolate flavour mingles perfectly with the pistachio ice cream placed on the top. Instead of going home after work for a quiet meal, this place is a nice alternative to chill out and eat.
I'm sure. I wonder if they hold private parties here, because I want to bring my friends here.
I'll help you ask, as long as I can come. For many families, Switzerland's an ideal travel destination because of its many ski resorts. It's also known to be one of the 5 safest places to go in the world. But if I were to go to Switzerland, I'd definitely pay a visit to those watchmaking companies because I've always wondered how those wonderful watches are made. If you think watches are just gadgets to tell the time, well, think again. Watches have always been considered a symbol of social status, and some people even think of them as a fashion item, which makes them a perfect gift for both men and women. And if you're someone who always has difficulty finding the right gift, these beautiful multifunctional watches might just do the job. Having dedicated the past 30 years for haute horlogerie, this watchmaker has produced some of the finest timepieces around. The watches have an outstanding level of finish. Each component is chamfered, polished and handcrafted. The craftsman's concentration and sense of perfection enable them to create timepieces that are unique, both aesthetically and technically. And because the manufacturer pays such distinctive attention to detail, only a few thousand are made each year.
When gift hunting for girls, you can't go wrong with accessories. When it comes to accessories, nothing quite beats a watch, but it's always so difficult to choose the right watch. That's why I've got the help of a professional. Hello, Olivia.
Hi.
So when I'm buying a watch for a lady, what should I think about?
Well, when it comes to choosing a watch for a lady, it's important to keep in mind her personality and her lifestyle. That way she will feel comfortable wearing the watch, design-wise as well as the movement-wise. But regardless her style though, it's important to choose a watch that exudes quality, craftsmanship, and as well as refinement.
I know you've bought a few watches from your ladies' collection. Can you tell me about the special features about this collection?
So you see here, we have 2 watches out of our women's collection, and throughout these 2 watches you see in front of you and the rest of our collection, you'll notice one detail in common, and we call that the golden rule, because the originator is very in tune with harmony, and he likes to keep things in proportion, such way that every curve, every length, and every dimension of this watch is in perfect harmony of the person wearing it, that way ensuring maximum comfort. Well, this one is our latest watch. We call it the Donna Oranos, and it is set on a mother of pearl dial, and naturally the light reflects off the diamonds, and you see the arrangement is almost like a dash of brilliance.
So can you tell me about the future trends for ladies' watches?
Well, there's more information and selection out there now, so women are starting to focus on complicated mechanical watches. So it's no longer about design, but what's behind the watches, which really equates to the status of the wearer, an expression of the connoisseurship.
Thanks very much. You'd be very mistaken if you thought accessories were only for women, because men have also been known to spoil themselves from time to time with a little something to show off how well-groomed and stylish they are. And I think I found something for this very occasion.
As the brand's first sporting collection, these watches are designed for adventure. Made of steel and precious metal, these timepieces are not only resistant to water, but also to some of the most extreme elements. In 2005, this brand created a watch made from palladium for the very first time. Just as precious as platinum, palladium is even purer than gold. The material has long been a horological enigma because of its composition. Timepieces made from palladium are extremely lightweight and hyperallergenic, and thanks to its natural colour of exceptional white, there's no need to perfect its beauty by any rhodium plating.
It's commonly known that most guys have a thing for fast cars, which is why many watch manufacturers produce watches that resemble racing cars.
This wristwatch is a marriage between the exquisite watchmaking craftsmanship and the racing car technology. To emphasise the aesthetics, the constituent parts are arranged like an engine block on the wrist, along with a horizontal axis rather than a vertical one, which enables the wearer to view the wheelwork like a cross-section diagram. What's more, the dial is not placed on the top of the watch as usual, but vertically on the front of the case, making it easy to read whilst driving. Completed with an 8-day power reserve, the 30-second tourbillon has a delicate complication, in which it has the first hand-wound movement entirely developed in the workshop of the manufacturer. The tourbillon is exclusively crafted by hand. The dial remains visible when the watch is turned over and is elegant and refined no matter where you view it from.
This unique timepiece isn't just any ticking mechanism. The technical complexity plus the fabulous appearance make these watches ideal for both men and women. And they'll definitely put a smile on the face of any lucky owner. Fisherman's Wharf has always been regarded as the most beautiful tourist spot in San Francisco. But if you ever go, Alcatraz Island is another interesting place you've got to visit. Many hit movies based on this former prison have been made, and prison stories do tend to create a big buzz. Ever since the award-winning drama Prison Break was first shown on TVB Pearl, it's been a massive hit, breaking all records to become the English drama with the highest ever rating on any Hong Kong channel.
Isn't it amazing? And to celebrate this extraordinary achievement of Prison Break first series and the launching of the second, TVB is holding a party right here in Studio One that's transformed into a prison for the very first time.
I've also heard they're serving prison dinners, which we've got to check out.
Before starting the party, prisoners had to be registered before being photographed in a mock jail cell. complying with the theme of prison, all the guests and artists who turned up on this night had to dress up in prison outfits. When the prison dinners were served, prisoners had to queue up for their food when they were called, and this gave the impression of being in the prison.
Dolce Vita's covered so many fashion shows, but this has got to be a first of its kind.
The climax of the night came when part of the place was cleared up for a prisoner's catwalk show. A crowd of young workers roared as the contestants appeared confidently in their creative prison outfits. The music then started and the contestants began walking up and down to the cheers of their co-workers. Finally, the winner went to the main character of the series, Michael, of course. When we come back, we'll enter the world of the First Lady of British musical theatre, Miss Elaine Paige.
Very strong.
Plus, get inspired by these magnificent sculptures by the master Salvador Dali. Stay tuned. A musical actress, a recording artist, a producer and a broadcaster, the beloved British theatre actress Elaine Paige has starred in more original smash hit musicals than anyone else of her generation. Her sensational performance has touched millions of hearts around the world. She came and performed in Hong Kong recently, and we were lucky enough to have her with us.
I am a great fan of yours, as are many people here in Hong Kong and Asia. Can you tell us a little bit about what you have in store for us in your concert?
Well, I've decided to put an evening of music together that is basically all musical theatre, since that's you know what I'm known for, and my career has been very much in musical theatre. That is what I've decided to do. So it's songs that are from all the musicals that I've been involved with, like Evita and Cats and Chess and Sunset Boulevard and The King and I and Anything Goes, and you know it's quite a selection of music from all the musicals that I've been in over the years, really.
Now, I know that your career spans 3 decades and still going strong. After all the memorable characters that you've played, is there one in particular that is most memorable for yourself?
Well, obviously, Evita is very special because that was the first one, and it was a Cinderella story, a wonderful Cinderella story. Everyone that I played, at the time of playing that particular role, that's been my favourite. So I've enjoyed them all, really, for different reasons. I mean, I loved Memory, the song from Cats, and although it was a very small role, a cameo role really, I rather enjoyed it because of that fantastic song, which I don't know, I just have an affinity with from the very first moment I ever heard it. Sunset Boulevard was fantastic to play as well because, again, a beautifully written piece, both musically and lyrically, and it told a fantastic story about the you know, Norma Desmond being the faded, if you like, movie star. So that was also a very dramatic role, and I enjoyed that very much. Everyone has had something and very different from one another, except that I've noticed that a lot of the women that I've played over the years have been very strong, strong women and driven women, women that you know, have a goal or a focus on for something to achieve. So I found that quite interesting to note the other day when I was remembering these various roles that I've played.
But after all these years, what keeps you going? What keeps you going in the business?
You know, my career over the years has been always very varied. I've either been in the theatre, making records, singing on the concert platform around the world, television and movies and stuff. So I want to continue for it to be that varied. And that way it's always interesting and it never gets dull or boring, and I guess that's why I'm still motivated. The day I don't enjoy it anymore, then I won't do it. But for now, I'm still there. Or I'm still here, as Mr. Sondheim would say.
Now, I know that this isn't your first time in Hong Kong. What is your impression of Hong Kong?
Well, I've only just arrived, so I haven't had a chance to have a really good look around, but I did manage to sort of saunter up and down Hollywood Road yesterday, looking in the antique shops, and I bought a couple of pairs of shoes, which is fantastic because I can never buy shoes anywhere in the world. So whenever I come east, this is my chance to go out and try and find some shoes. So I shall be doing more shoe shopping, I would imagine, later. And of course to eat, because I just love the food here.
And where will your next stop be?
Well, I go straight back to London because I'm about to go into rehearsals for this new show. So that'll be me set in London for the whole of the year.
But any more touring afterwards?
Next year, yep, which I'll be celebrating 40 years in my profession. So I shall be doing probably a world tour next year.
Elaine's devotion and success in the modern musical theatre over the past decades validates the title the First Lady of British musical theatre. And now let's enjoy a moment of Elaine's performance.
We taught the world new ways to dream.
Salvador Dali is widely considered to be one of the top exponents of surrealism, and even though he's passed away, his works continue to inspire generations to come. An exhibition for his works that was held in Singapore a few months ago finally made its way to Hong Kong.
In some ordinary museums, artwork are not supposed to be touched or to get close to. But while some people are paying more attention to the quality of life, an intimate art appreciation experience would be something we could adore.
Although Salvador Dali has passed away, his spirit has never been forgotten. His works are constantly shown in so many different places around the world, and this time it's our turn in Hong Kong. However, handling these multi-million-dollar pieces of art wasn't easy.
The fact of moving these very heavy sculptures into the portfolio was the key task. I think it took us 5 days to move the 9 sculptures into the portfolio. But I think if you walk through it in a few minutes, you'll find out that actually the sculptures actually fit in very well and blends in with this district very, very well.
Just like Raymond said, the process of moving and installing 9 large and valuable sculptures was an interesting logistical management exercise. The sculptures were cranked up by machines and were moved to the designated spot one after another during the night to avoid any traffic obstruction to the area. In order to protect the building floors, wooden pads had to be used to cover the route along the way. It took as much as 5 nights, exhausting everyone's energy and effort before all of Dali's sculptures were set up nicely in 2 of the busiest buildings in Central. Thanks to everyone's hard work, art is now accessible to the widest possible audience. Whether or not you're a big fan of Salvador Dali, you can appreciate these beautiful sculptures in an intimate way while strolling through the landmark or Exchange Square during the day. But be sure to hurry up, because the exhibition finishes on April the 15th.
One of the most important artists in the 20th century is Salvador Dali. His work is claimed to be very recognizable because it's got a great deal of surrealism and symbolism.
One of Dali's favourite icons is his melting clocks. The artist tries to convey the idea that all material things must succumb to their mortality. This is regarded as one of the most optimistic portrayal of time by Dali. Although featured with a melting clock, the sculpture transmits a sense of triumph through the golden flower wielded on one hand, which signifies passion and life. While the horn of a unicorn is a symbol of chastity, in the sculpture the unicorn is attempting to resurrect the Virgin with his blood and horn. Dali's works weren't limited to any particular style or theme. This sculpture describes a 3rd century Christian defeating a dragon and saving a princess. St. George was a major character in legend, and he appears in a number of Dali's works. The Giraffe Woman is a frequent theme from Dali's Burning Giraffe painting, which reflects the grim realities of World War II. Surrealism is the form of art that Dali has always embraced. A lot of times the artist got inspirations from science, and in the sculpture Dali paid tribute to Isaac Newton, who discovered the law of gravity in the 17th century. The dangling ball unfolds the law of gravity, whereas the hollow in the man reminds us to keep an open heart to accept any scientific possibilities. As the name of the piece suggests, this sculpture is modelled based on the children's story. Alice is created faceless, which represents the kind of naivety that is most beautiful and pure in all our minds. This is the one which took the most time to install, because it consists of two separate pieces. While the ants on the sculpture symbolise death, the egg which represents birth and renewal does give us hope in life. Woman Aflame is another remarkable bronze sculpture in the exhibition. Many regard this woman with a burning skirt, a good representation of Dali's perception on sexuality.
That's all we've got time for tonight. Hope you've enjoyed the show. For more information about tonight's episode, check out our website. And next week we'll bring you more ideas on where to shop, eat and how to live the Dolce Vita in Hong Kong. So see you again next week. Bye.